know that song. Have you ever heard it before? That's a children's song about the wheels on the bus. And I wanted to talk about accompaniment patterns with this one. And how can you figure out what the accompaniment needs to be? So in this song, the right hand tells you the harmony. It actually outlines the notes of the chord you need to play. So the wheels on the bus go round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Jump up and down one chord. So it starts on this low G, and then it goes up to C, E, G. So it's a C major chord. It's simple. And in most music, the right hand actually does dictate the harmony that the left hand needs to play, but usually it's not quite so overtly obvious. So I wanted to use this song because it's really obvious. But if you start to be a detective, you can figure this out on your own with lots of different music. So that is all C major. But then the next part, it's not still C major, is it? So what do we do here? B, D, B, and G. So D, B, and G. That's a G major chord. Okay? So we only have 2 chords in this song. It's really, really simple harmonically. So just based on what the melody is doing, you can figure out what the left hand needs to play. The next part, round and round. Oh, does that sound good? No, we need to change again. And this is a C major chord again. So we start with C, we go to G, and then back up to C. Down to G, back up to C. We start from that same theme, repeating it. Now all through, and that's outlining again that G major chord. This is not part of G. Go back to C again, okay? So with this song, the right hand arpeggiates the chord. That means that it plays all the notes of the chord one at a time and maybe with a little repetition in there. But it's super, super simple. C, G, C, C, G, C. So we just go back and forth between C and G. Now, that's just the very basic framework with the very basic root position chords. And the fun you can have once you learn what the basic chords are is that you can change up the way you play the left hand in order to create a totally different mood. So I want to do a whole lesson on this because when we're learning how to improvise and how to sort of make up things, there are certain patterns we can do to create a certain feeling. So the wheels on the bus go round and round and round and round, right? The first verse has text that evokes this feeling of circles. So for that first verse, I want to teach you a pattern that sounds like flowing water. It's called a rolling bass. So we can use this little triplet rolling bass figure to create kind of that sensation of water flowing. And it's really, really great to evoke a certain feeling. So the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all through town. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round. fancier with few more notes or changing the chords as you get a little bit more experienced and stuff. But the basic idea is that if you make this sort of flowing arpeggio, a rolling bass sounds really, it sounds really soothing, really freeing, really flowing like water. Okay, so the wheels go around and around, and when you're doing a rolling bass, it's really fun to add pedals so that you have kind of this resonance. See, I've taken my fingers off the piano, but you can still hear them ringing on my soundboard, and that's because I've lifted up the dampers, which are those little felt things that keep the strings from making noise. So when we press the pedal down with our feet, that lifts dampers up off the strings, and that just allows the strings to continue to ring and resonate as long as they continue to vibrate without the felt stopping them. So that is the first one. All right, what's the next verse? The people on the bus go up and down, right? So we can do this bouncing kind of accompaniment. So this bounce, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. We do the bottom note of the chord and then the top two notes together. And that's kind of like an oompa kind of a sound. And if you let go of the notes really, really quickly, that's called staccato. And it sounds very bouncy, like people bouncing up and down. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus go up and down, all through the town. So that's a totally different feeling than the rolling bass, right? But we're using the exact same chords and we're barely doing anything to change it. We're just playing a little bit different of a pattern in the left hand, still using those same three notes of the same chords that we figured out when we first outlined the harmony to match the right hand pitches. Okay, so the babies on the bus say, wah, wah, wah. What can we do for that? Maybe we need to calm it down a little bit. So let's just play the chord once and just let it ring for a little while. Maybe we put the pedal down too and listen to it ring. We call this just chords, a chord accompaniment. Blocked chords if you're playing all the notes at the same time. All right, so let's try this. The babies on the bus say wah, 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 and we're just really trying to get the babies to calm down. So we're just playing single chords. The babies on the bus say wah, wah, wah. Now, wah, 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 wah. The babies on the bus say wah, wah, wah. Now what I just did is I held the pedal down the entire time without clearing it. Did you notice how noisy that gets? Okay, so with the verse about the babies on the bus, I want to teach you about something you can do with your feet and the pedal. For the babies on the bus, they're making lots and lots of noise. And if you want to create a really, really loud sound with the pedal, with the piano, all you need to do is just hold your foot down on the pedal, and it just allows all of the notes that you play to continue to ring and ring and ring and vibrate. And it creates a really, really ominous, really dissonant sound, kind of like the cacophony of babies saying wah, 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 like lots of babies crying. So just play the chord one time, and hold it, but also hold it in the pedal so that when you play the other one, they're both ringing. Do sound, that noise. Ah, it's wah, wah, wah. That is not pretty, is it? So the parents on the bus say, shh, shh. We're going to learn about how to clear the pedal. When you are playing different harmonies, you need to change out the pedal so that you don't hear the one that was before mixed with the one you're playing now. So when I play the C major chord, I have the pedal down. It sounds nice and resonant and full. And when I want to play another chord, if I want to switch to the G major chord, I need to lift my foot up and then put it back down again so that it catches the resonance of the G major sonority, which actually has two notes that clash with C major. So those two pitches are really, really dissonant and they don't sound good together. So you want to make sure you clear out C major before you put down G major, because that way it'll sound good. Okay, now we're still hearing that G major resonate, and before we play C again, we need to lift up the pedal, clear it, and press it again. All right. So let's try. The parents on the bus say shh, shh, shh. Now it's going to be just like the babies on the bus with your hand, but with your feet. You're going to clear the pedal every time you change the chord. So. Just like that.